Thanks, Mr. Bardolph. Welcome back to the very amateur hosting from Paul Red-Eye Challoner. Welcome back, of course, to the Esports Championship Series, a $3.5 million league which launched today, and courtesy, of course, of Twitch and FACEIT. One game down in our second match of the day. What do we make of that one then, Soren? Par for the course?
I mean, SK weren't really turned on, a bit like your mic, so they could have used someone to help
that.
them out.
I deserve that.
No, you could see, I mean, this is a good map for SK. It's not like it's a terrible map. It's like they're on the bad end of the map pool. Obviously, like I said, with the ban system they have here, where you each get 2 bans, essentially you can get anything really, really bad out of the way. But this is one of Gambit's better maps, and you saw why there. Like, on the T side, they are very, very good. They actually could have had even more rounds. They were up at like 8-2 at one point in time. SK had a little comeback, but I think on this map, one of the things that impresses me the most, this is where the map that actually showed me that Gambit wasn't just a bunch of leftovers just kind of playing like free-for-all style CS, is that on this map they have a lot of executes. Like, they're really, really good at getting onto the outer site. They can always get the bomb down, it seems like. So basically, yeah, I think they just played it exactly the way they wanted to. And then you might have hoped, oh, well, if SK is good on train, maybe they're good on their T side. I mean, they had nothing on their T side, unfortunately. And then Mo took over the game, obviously.
Yep, dominated in parts. 6-0 up, and Gambit decided to do a bit of a risky strat in terms of pushing outside. As Soren pointed out, it could have been even worse for SK because of that, Dan.
Yeah, I mean, the outside push is always a little bit chaotic. You never really know what's going to happen. It can be one of those really good ways. If you're against a team where you don't know what's going to work, or you feel like you're playing players that are way better than you can at least guarantee a bomb plant. And then in all the chaos, you can maybe get a bit lucky. And I felt like at that point of the match, they just wanted to try something different, because it's that mindset you get into sometimes when you've been getting success just doing, they're just doing the B hits. They're just, basically repeating the same play. And then they're like, oh, well, maybe we should just mix it up now, because we've been doing this for ages. When actually there's no sign really that should say to them, this is not working right now. That you have to mix it up and try something that might not work. So yeah, that spurred some rounds for SK, but otherwise SK did seem a bit flat.
Yeah, James, what do you think of that? I mean, because the first half they rallied a little bit. Torrin says it was 8-2, but they pulled back the last 5 rounds, and you think, well, okay, maybe, but then one round on T side is never going to be good enough, is it?
Yeah, I think Gambit were just better, basically. I mean, yeah, they chose to. I think they tried to make a read that perhaps they were going to try and SK were going to try and like bolster the defenses over towards B when they went towards A. But hindsight's 2020. But if they just did the same execute towards B every round, I don't know if SK would have found an answer for it in time to have a reasonable score in the first half.
I'm going to move on to Mirage. What do you make?
I mean, it's a better chance, I think, for SK overall. I think this is like a bit more of an open map. It's as we were describing here, it's not one where you're just going to do the same execute over and over again. Like, that's one of the reasons that was kind of peculiar about the fact Gambit didn't get more rounds, is that there was really no reason for them to go away from what was working. It was almost, that's actually a mistake you often see the North American teams do, where they'll get success somewhere and they'll overthink it, like, right, well, now we have to open the other site up, whereas until they stop you, like the Korean method to gaming is if you have a strategy, you wait until they solve it before you switch over. So I think this one would be a bit more open. I mean, one of the problems I also saw for SK was bringing in cadiaN. He's replacing a rifler, but cadiaN's always going to AWP if he can. And so since Friis is going to AWP all the time as well, you're going to have to run that dual AWP setup. It's going to be really, really expensive on the CT economy. So if you're losing rounds all the time as well, you're going to have a lot of difficulty getting frags just on the SK side. Now, Mirage is a map that's a lot more wide open, and you can definitely play dual AWP on here. Obviously, you can have it at the mid, you can have it at A, you can have the guy in B just covering the apartments by himself. So I think for SK on the CT side, there's a lot more options as to what to do there in terms of not just feeling so disjointed from what the original lineup was.
Right. Does more options potentially mean more chaos, though, James?
I think, well, basically my thoughts were the same as Thorin's, with like, this is a map where we should see more, Friis is going to have more freedom to have more of an impact, but then obviously cadiaN needs to AWP as well. And it reminds me of when Flipside started out with Simple, when you had Simple and Wild at it. This was one map where you see them double AWPing as well, and Cobblestone especially, and you saw how much of an impact it can have on your economy. Titan used to do it good for a while, but more often than not, it's going to be a problem rather than a benefit.
All right, well, we're going to find out in just a moment, because the game is about to start. So let's hand you over to our commentary team. Once again, the two FACEIT boys to bring you game number 2 in Group Europe.
So if there's anything I want to see on this map, speaking of any resurgence, as far as SK are concerned, is maybe just a shadow of the former glory of the 1.6 version of Friis. Because I don't think we've really seen that in CSGO. We haven't really seen Friis be a dominant AWP. He's been okay, but he's by no means really been all that special. And that's what his 1.6 reputation may lend you to believe. So I would like to see that, considering as well that you know, cadiaN also does prefer to AWP. He's been thrown into this team. Magic's Boy more of a mad fragger rifler kind of type. It's going to be interesting what they can do with that double AWP play. But so far in this, we got the pistol round. It's slow. It's a slow progress towards the A site for Gambit, waiting for a teammate to get into connector before making the triple pronged attack. Yeah,
we've seen a whole lot of slow in most of these matches today so far,
yeah.
Which is actually quite challenging for talking points. But I think we're up for the challenge, Dan. We're never far from things to talk about. Dosia definitely spotted Friis there. Flashbang comes in, and he is eventually going to mash the kill out there. I'm sure he was gripping his mouse very hard there, as people can do when the pressure gets high in a pistol round. So CTs, or what remains of them, will be looking to go for the retake play. Nice headshot there by Pimp. We've got MODDII trying to go for a kind of safe peek there, see what's going on. Not going to find a player behind the barrels, and he might just get a free tap onto somebody here. Oh, that nade has great timing. And there we go, there comes a tap onto Dosia. So can the CTs do this? Jumping on a toll booth there, but there's still no answer from Tetris. And hooch is just going to bait all of his teammates, leave them to die and be the last man standing. Oh, he's got the right angle, but just about going to get the kill onto AcilioN. The defuse kit will allow the defuse to come in, and it is going to be SK taking the pistol round. So, I mean, Gambit seems to go for a bit of a gamble there. Obviously, the hooch could have revealed his position from Tetris to try and help his teammates with those kills, or you know, with the numbers they had there, maybe expecting the kills to come in, but no, they all fell down, and unfortunately, it will be, well, for them, it will be SK taking the lead.
And Gambit with the full save, only a deagle on Mo. Ooh, he's looking for that deag. Gonna get a bit of a tag, but nothing much more than that. I do very much enjoy how viable the deagle is these days. It was a long time that it was not really usable, and then we had the hitbox update quite some time ago, and now we're seeing many more deagles in play, and it's a very fun weapon. Requires a lot of skill. It's not so consistent, but you've seen a lot of people make big plays with them in important games, important situations. Either way, it's going to be the end of that that nothing round as we move into round 3, and we will see the AKs and nades purchased by Gambit, courtesy of the first round bomb plant. And immediately the AWP is on Friis. He's got a good spawn as well towards A. With
all the with first team Luminosity winning the major, I wonder if we'll see more proliferation with respect to MP9s coming out. Friis a bit slow on the trigger there. I don't know if he was looking at the radar or something, but I would expect him to get a kill in that situation. And now cadiaN finds himself kind of stuck into Palace, but Friis will come in and make the save. So I'm glad that Friis is going to be the man in the AWP if there's going to be one, because obviously it's his team and it would make things messy if he was giving it up to cadiaN, I think. And he's putting in work so far, and Gambit have been torn apart here in their first buy of Mirage.
It's like Pimp is going to go out on a limb here, and he's found himself a very good position. This is I think he might get both, but just one. He gets the info for his team, so 3 versus 1. Dosia is going to try to go for a fast plant. He needs to get a couple of frags here to make that even possible at this rate, because the ETs are all there. And here he is, looking for those kills. There's the first one on the wallbang. Just freeze down. Can they grab the AWP? Yes, they can.
Nice play from MODDII. Didn't peek even to try and trade, was just comfortable and confident in the angle he was holding. And indeed, once revealed, people were shot straight in the face there. So SK have passed their first test, and that's going to put Gambit straight back on the eco. The MP9 comes out again for cadiaN, or continues onto him. And I think he's playing close A, but obviously it's not going to be optimal for him to play up close when there's an eco on. Friis coming in, going back to the well, but with 33 HP, he's not going to go there anymore. Leave his teammates to clean up what remains of Gambit, which is Mo. So a very strong start by SK, 4 rounds from 4 so far. And now that Gambit will be back on the buy, I'm quite interested to see if cadiaN will continue with the MP9. He's got $10,000. No, they are indeed going to go for double AWP. So he was playing A, but he seems to be headed towards mid or B, so perhaps we're going to see a mid and short play from the AWP. So short AWP can help the B apps as well.
Yep, and I do worry a little bit. Friis has been missing a few flicks, like for example that last round. and also that shot that he missed from Connector when he had a good spawn earlier. So definitely going to need to see him be a little bit more on point on the shots. But Gambit occupy middle with 3. 1 on slope, 1 on palace. 2 players in connector for SK. So that connector position is going to be quite a linchpin in this round. There's so much investment here for both teams, and it's like AcilioN's going to take the first frag there. The trade comes in though.
I'm not sure if there was a flash from Gambit's team in that situation, but that didn't really work out very well for them, and they are going to get wiped out there 5-0 very quickly indeed. So that is not the start that Gambit wanted, and now they're in a very ropey situation with regards to the economy. You can see some players, or one player doesn't even have money to go for the AK, so it seems they're going to go for a bit of a half buy. Some Kevlar and some Tech 9s are coming out for the team, and SK are absolutely rolling in the cash. The double ops continue for the CT side, and indeed they will have the smoke grenade coming down, maybe expecting a buy here. Gambit did have the option to do that, but they would have been completely devoid of grenades. So it looks like they might have an execute in mind with the smokes, flashes and HEs that they have.
And so far, we have one player. He's actually made his way all the way past the sandwich. wayLander's just going for it. Doesn't get the lucky headshot onto Pimp there by connector, by jungle, sorry. And it's a little bit awkward. Not sure what's going on there, but wayLander will eventually die. And somehow there's a knife in shop, and AdreN's going to pick up an AWP.
Oh dear.
And wreck Pimp with the AWP. Ridiculous round, and now let's open up the B-bomb site. The bomb's made its way over in good time. And SK might even consider saving it. This angle is somewhat brutal from AdreN. So what a weird turnaround, and that's just because SK gave up a lot on the map, because I guess they were expecting pistols.
Well, they've got too much money to save in a situation where they could make much more profit from trying to kill as many Ts as possible. But now I think advantage and disadvantage may be outweighed as Friis finds himself the only man standing, and obviously rifles can indeed be quite an expense. So how that knife, how he even got into that position in the first place, I have absolutely no idea. But Gambit will be afforded their first round on the map thanks to that, saving an AWP as well. This is quite fruitful for them.
Absolutely. So it's going to be a quick...
from the back.
We played the knife, backstab there, and AdreN picked up the AWP. Got a quick sneaky frag with the AWP that he picked up. And that made all the difference there. Gambit with a surprise turnaround. It's a big turnaround on value as well. Mo is going to have the AWP now, and we'll get a play from Gambit straight in towards the A-bomb site. It looked like they may have wanted to go for a contact play, but they are waiting for the members in Palace. And indeed, it's a contact play, walking straight through the smoke. Somehow MODDII doesn't get anything done there. And more smokes are going to be needed. There's 2 AWPs in place, so this is a really nice strategy, so long as they can cut off the AWP angles with smokes. That is the key thing here for Gambit. And they also need to take forward positions. They don't have, they don't really have that just yet. They're all 3 of them falling back towards Slope and Tetris. This could potentially be an issue, but they're going to have one player rotating through T-spawn in towards middle, and they have a guy in underpass as well. So Gambit with a really interesting setup here, but the AWPs are starting to do work as the smokes disappear. SK looking like they could retake this now, but there's only one player left, hooch. Oh no, can you actually see the bomb from here?
He can't actually.
I don't think he can.
Oh, he could just get there just in time, but he's not going to do it.
I feel like there must have been miscommunication there, because Gambit had a player already in mid, and then they sent hooch to mid as well. And I was like, okay, well, sure, that makes sense if they have a short plant, but they didn't.
Yeah, I did wonder about that myself as well, and I didn't even realize that they planted it on the other side of default somehow. But it was a novel plant, but again, just a bit of a problem at the end there, because I did note they didn't cross to triple to plant the bomb, and obviously if they plant a default, then it's going to make it hard for them to defend a bomb from many places. But planting on the other side opens up more options, but still not perfect. Also, during their execute onto the A site, they threw 6 flashbangs. There were 4 flashbangs in a row, then a little break, then a 5th one, then a little break, then a 6th one. So there's much blindness to be had there, but it didn't pay off for them. AWP onto both sides now, And you can see Gambit are all over mid at the moment. SK playing very close to connector. They are not going to want Gambit to have too much control of connector itself. There is a smoke at the top of it. So the CTs should assume that the Ts are deep within connector once it starts to disappear. There are Molotovs onto the SK side, however, and the odd HE here and there, so they can perhaps use those to try and clear said areas out. They actually have a lot more HEs than they do Molotovs, which is interesting, as some would argue that the Molotovs have a lot more utility, especially for situations like connector for the CTs here.
Well, you can't make somebody get out of a position with an HE as you can a Molotov, and that's what you need. Deposition the CT defense, get him to the bomb sites, and that's what they're doing, moving through. I like how the Molotov was thrown after they got the kill on cart. So, very nice. And now there's no nades left for Gambit, and they're going for the plant. And MODDII, he's very close. I don't think they are aware. Indeed, they are not. And he's going to get a fast frag. This should be over right now for Gambit. There should be no way they can bring themselves back into this one. Mo left with 15 points, 12 or 16. Good luck, sir. He is going to get zoned out of the B apartments, and the defuse comes in. Bomb went down at the very least, but with only 2 frags, you have to wonder how this really affects Gambit, because look at their money and so on right now. I mean, it's the money's pretty pitiful, and generally speaking, you know, SK from this kind of position, you're expecting them to be able to pull out, you know, up to like a 10 rounds, 10-1 kind of scoreline. So it's a bit scary, to be honest. On the CT side, obviously you expect a strong CT side, but this is a bit ridiculous because there's been no solution for Gambit so far. Nothing they've done has really worked. They had that one good round on A where they're up against 2 orbs. They go in with the executes. It's perfect. You cut off the orbs, you get the bomb down. But then they kind of mess up the post plant because they don't even push the site. They all just fall back. The 3 players go to slope. One's in mid. They rotate another one into mid when the bomb's not even visible from connector. So
yeah, that's
going on?
That's a very good point. Or maybe actually, I can only imagine that perhaps they wanted to boost a player into CPL because it would be visible from jungle, and that would be the last place people would expect the T to come from. But then again, I think the player who was already in mid was in the underpass, because if he was on short, for example, then he could just jump in there on his own anyway. But then hooch came from top mid, and he'd have to go down mid, so it still doesn't make sense because he could just jump into the window.
It's definitely over elaborate, and I mean, I think a lot of people could take stuff out of like Fnatic's book in that kind of a situation where you want to play very aggressively when you take a site, push forward, get very forward positions into CT spawn and so on. But anyway, we'll get Gambit going with another A play. They set up the 3-pronged attack immediately, which is very nice timing.
Yeah, but they've just run up Palace, and Friis is so close. Look at the positioning of SK. They had 2 people on short because they know that this is coming, because they're just making it very, very obvious on Gambit. And it's not going to go their way, unsurprisingly. And there we go. 2 versus 1 now. Mo can entirely do this because the last 2 people are coming in from mid, although it seems they're going to rotate round to T spawn.
They're both going that way.
And the bomb's still in Palace, so...
it's actually really smart, actually, because Mo could very realistically decide that, okay, I'm going to go to T spawn, I'm going to go to rotate to B through T spawn. And then they would catch him and trade at the very worst. And now Mo's going to pick up the bomb and plant it, and he's got no idea that they're coming from there, although that said he's throwing a flash there. So was that a decoy?
Decoy.
So he threw a decoy to slope. So
they're on the site now.
So he has no idea that they're slope. Yeah, that ended up being a very smart play from SK, actually.
Yeah. That's the real problem being in that situation if you're Mo. The longer you wait, the closer the CTs are going to be to you, and you have no idea where they are. And the longer you wait, the more places they could end up being. So nowhere ends up being safe. And Gambit find themselves with only 1 round on the board, a long way away from SK. Interestingly, they haven't bought any Kevlar in this round, but they've put down a lot of smokes, and they've bought a ton of flashbangs, which makes a suggestion that they're going to be looking for that bomb plant here. There is an auto sniper in play now from AcilioN. Interestingly, MODDII perhaps expecting a rush, going to be opting to play close rather than far, and there comes in that auto sniper, but he's down to 13 HP. Only got 1 kill. We need to be very, very careful indeed. Bomb does indeed go down, but for Gambit, that's all they're going to get.
That was perfect though. I mean, for what they invested there, the return was the bomb plant. That's absolutely worthwhile, and they even got a kill out of it too. So that was actually a really great round from Gambit, and the money has bolstered them somewhat. So they're able to get Mo on and AWP and Armor as well, and we'll have to see what Mo can do for them, because the a sort of expectation on him in a position like this. He needs to open up the map for his team. He'll try to do so through middle. But let's see what he's going to get. Boom. Love it. I love the anticipation there from Mo. You can see that he felt like it was very likely that the player was there. Almost as though he could have closed his eyes and just shot that position. So lovely stuff from Mo. He opened up the map for his team. And it doesn't stop there. Gambit are taking more frags towards Connector. And now they're on to the A-bomb site.
So this is a good opportunity for them to get their second round on the board here. Strong advantage, and AdreN's in position for the flank onto cadiaN as well, who almost gets the kill onto him, but not quite going to be. So the lead is extended to 7, and the buys are coming in once again on the CT side. Obviously they managed to build up a lot of money. Here we've got 4 nades on the T side of Gambit, so we'll see what they can offer. On this occasion, obviously, it would be a complete nightmare if they were to lose this round and then probably lose the remainder of them in this half. So, very important round for the T's to win here. But MODDII playing very close, obviously saw a gap in the smoke, and wayLander's going to get taken down for free. Unfortunately for him, will that cause any aggression from the CT side elsewhere? See a bit of information finding in mid, but they're going to miss Dosia coming through from the underpass. So again, Gambit with 3 players in the mid area at the moment. Bomb being picked up by the guy carrying it from B. We've got MODDII deep into Palace as well, so that could come into play a bit later on in the round. Got Connector being smoked and flashed now, but indeed SK will see something over the top of the smoke. That smoke is definitely your friend and your enemy at the same time.
Yeah, Gambit in a pretty awful position where they have to try to make a play happen individually to open up a part of the map, and the bomb got spotted there, and the rotation will come in from SK towards shop with 1 player. So honestly, Gambit is screwed in this position. The only real save that can happen is from a player like AdreN, able to move through window to rather ladder room to try to get a kill or something, to try to actually alleviate some pressure from his teammates, and he's gonna get shot in the back.
Okay, so it's 4 versus 1 now, as hooch is the only man left, and he's going to get taken down as well. So there we go. Disaster strikes for Gambit. They won a round, they lost a round, and now they have mixed money. Actually, they can go for the buy again, so there's still a window of opportunity here, but 10-2. That window is closing. The AWP is still out for the CT side. The T side not doing as well, as hooch is down to the Tech 9. So again, looks like we're going to see a mid take from the Gambit boys, but perhaps some early aggression from the SK team. There is a wayLander headed in the direction of MODDII, and of course he's got AcilioN in for tow. Should help be required, but it won't be required, although he might be about to get traded from the Palace. Dosia comes out, and down he goes. wayLander is still alive though, waiting for him to reveal himself. But Dosia, those bricks will save him. So now we're all over the place. hooch is still only on a Tech 9. The bomb's still in T-spawn. And it seems that they might be headed over towards the B bomb site. And we'll see if cadiaN and Pimp choose to stay together, or if they will put 1 onto each site. Might be a bit difficult if they, well, no matter what they do, it's going to be difficult. Let's put it that way. But it seems they're going to go for a 2-man retake together.
Yeah. And let's see how we are for nades. I think Gambit are going to be, I mean, fairly even in this position to SK. Oh, this is not good. Looks like he's going to come in and take hooch down. Very, very hard position for Dosia now. Because I was going to say, if Pimp played it slow, he could. I mean, his teammate would be there to actually support him, but he just takes both one-on-ones and wins them. So 11-2 is the scoreline now. And that's going to mean that Gambit are back to a quasi-buy sort of situation on maybe 2 players. The rest can't afford to buy. 3 players can't afford to buy anything. So SK looking very strong in this one. Gambit's seemingly a lot, doing a lot worse on this map. so far, having a pretty awful T side. And Friis, he's not been super on point on some of these shots. He does finally pick one up though. And AdreN just, you know, chilling in the apps. What can he find?
This is not a great T half.
No, not really.
There's not much to say really. They're just getting wrecked.
Yeah, there's not much going on.
SK, so I don't know how much we can really embellish on that. There will be a bye coming out in the last round of the first half here for the Gambit team, but it seems that the 2-0 might be fading away with a mere 2 rounds in the first half. So let's see what they have to offer. Ooh, Pimp is going in the underpass very early indeed. And nobody's going to check it, or are they? Dosia, has he spotted someone? Indeed, they've seen a rat as got multiple people coming in that direction, and AcilioN's going to opt to go for a very aggressive peek there, taking down wayLander as well. So Gambit have been ripped from pillar to post. There's only 2 of them left, stuck in B apps at the moment. We've got SK players pushing T spawn, pushing top mid. They were pushing B apps as well, so they are definitely stuck in the mousetrap there, and it is closing on them. There goes the second last player. Dosia's all that remains. And he is going to get snapped by MODDII as well. 13-2. Very different from the first map there. At least there, SK managed to recover somewhat, but he did take the first 5 rounds, the next 4 rounds, and then 4 more after losing just 1. So Gambit, you can see how far away those 2-round victories were for them. Obviously, that means economical turmoil. So indeed, this might be a very fast one.
Yeah, it would appear so. I mean, SK, if they win the pistol round, kind of GG for Gambit, to be honest.
Yeah.
We'll have to see how that actually ends up panning out, but for their sake, I hope that they are able to get something going here, hit some shots. They've gone with 4 Kevlars and a kit and smoke on Mo. And there's a fair amount of nades here for SK, but we've got a nice aggression from hooch. He's going to spot 1 player. Looking for that info is hooch, but the bomb is towards T-slope, not top mid. Interesting. Looks like he's just not going to even get much damage, and looks like Gambit are really falling foul of the quick aggression from underpass, cadiaN with a double.
What happened to hooch there? That was really weird. He wasn't moving his mouse. He was moving his keyboard, but his mouse wasn't moving at all there. That is a very quick plant after their smokes went down, maybe a little bit too quick, but they're still going to go for the brazen plant regardless. So we've got MODDII in the connected area, holding it down as well, taking down Dosia, so it's Mo versus 3. I've no idea what happened to hooch there, because that was super weird. Yeah, you can see he had a bit of an issue there, because he was moving his keyboard, but he wasn't moving his mouse. And we are headed to 14-2 in favor of SK. So Mo's just wondering where everybody is. Does he go for the hero defuse? Oh, there is everyone. Finding 2 people here. And there we go. So, Gambit may not be long for this map. Indeed.
14-2. And Gambit should force bite. And we will see the force bite. Although 3 players saving money, which is interesting. They should all really force buy here, because there is no future. There's no future in this match if they don't just win now. So okay, they all go for the force buy eventually. Okay, good. Okay, and now we have 3 players stacking towards the B bomb site for Gambit, as SK take things very slowly indeed. AcilioN picking off a frag towards the underpass area, and now he's going to regroup with his teammates towards the middle area, it would seem. They don't really have any presence towards to A yet. You know, they've got Friis towards connector, but that's about it. Are they going B into the stack?
Well, it's almost standard these days, Dan, to just go into the stack without any reconnaissance efforts.
Or nades.
There are no nades on the SK sides that are relevant, i.e. Molotovs. So there we go, just moving around too fast and hard to hunt for Dosia. Putting in work here with the 5-7, and that's going to change things up. So maybe there is still some opportunity for Gambit to run away with this, and that's an AK no less. Bit of spray coming in from the MP7, but he's got a helmet, so just switching to the pistol at the wrong time. So here we go, Friis with the clock against him, against 2 plays. Picked up the AK though, that's going to be a very big boon as both these players have armor. One's going to peek, but no further peeking is they are going to want to do, basically. Going to continue to run the clock down. You can see the desperation for the plant. Is he going to get it down in time? No! Going to get shot straight in the head by wayLander, so Gambit survived for now, but how long, surely?
Yeah, and it's always very sad when teams don't invest in mollies and anti-false buys, because they're in very dangerous positions and you can just molly them, and then you don't have to worry about them. But I feel like I'm a bit of a broken record on that subject. Either way.
Molotovs, Dan. We should wear t-shirts that just say Molotovs in capital letters.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Okay, so I'm going to get some nades set up, potentially here towards A.
Is this the good old A with smokes, Dan? The matchmaking special? It seems it could be. We will have to see. 5 Tech 9s, pretty fearsome. 5 Tech 9s and 5 smoke grenades. Although we do have, I think that's Friis over towards the B bomb site. Perhaps he's going to offer some kind of fake, but SK spending some time in T-spawn, and we'll see what they ultimately want to do. It's been a long time since we saw the Na'Vi fake where they throw the smoke from T-spawn. I think we saw cadiaN do it once and almost 1v3. May have even been more in terms of numbers, but SK just running backwards and forwards in T-spawn, so not sure what else to say at this point. Seems unclear as to what they want to do. It seems they're going to try and take mid and then split the sites, because the bomb is still on a slope. Very nice shoulder peek there. May not even firing a shot, although Friis is going to get tagged. That nade is going to put him down to 1 HP. And so it's gone from an A execute to just like 3 shots on people in a mid, sorry. wayLander having a bit of trouble there, finding somebody to kill. And now this is just getting super weird. So SK's managed to make it onto a in the split with only losing 1 player. Down goes wayLander as well. And now we've got a 2 versus 3. The bomb still hasn't been planted yet. And there are no rifles picked up yet by SK. You can see Friis just walking there. Almost a bit of a sacrifice, because the bomb's gone down now. You can see there's 1 player over towards short. And it is the reverse triple plant. So one of the most exposed plants possible. Very nice black. He's going to give him a 1 versus 1. He's going to dink AdreN down to 3 HP, and that will be the end of SK's run of Tyranny in this round.
I like Tyranny. Do you like Tyranny, James?
Why not? Tyranny's fun, no? If you're the one doing the, you know.
I like a good.
If you're on the receiving end of it, it's not fantastic.
Okay, so Gambit trying to get themselves back in this one. SK on a save. Should be a fast round with not too much of notes happening. There we go. Mo, tappity tap. And we've got wayLander there with a quick nade in as well. It's not supposed to go like this, James. It's not supposed to be like this. They're losing players.
So let's see. SK are congregating back towards the top of mid. We have 1 player moving into Palace towards the A site, and I can expect perhaps they will leave 2 towards B, because it can make it quite difficult to plant the bomb if you have a player in Palace. But he's continuing to push, whoever that is. And now we have all 3 Gambit players completely split up. So I don't I don't understand why they've pushed 1 through Palace into T-spawn, but then they've put a 2nd player over towards A despite how far he's got, and now he's going to have to rotate towards B and not get there in time because he left his teammate in isolation as AdreN. So it's like they gambled on 2B, then gambled on 2A, and well, here we are. Now in a 2 versus 3, only 1 of these 3 SK players has a rifle though, and he's looking the wrong way, so now it's Gambit's round to win. Now it's their round to lose. It's a 2 versus 1, so things are spinning around very quickly in this round. cadiaN's picks up an M4, no armor of course.
Ooh. Yeah, nice.
We can't find it. That is brutal, because he would have had a good chance of defusing it were he able to find it, and now he has to play ring around the
wall.
ancient relic.
Brick wall.
Because this is a bit Egypty, isn't it? It makes me feel like it's ancient Egypt or something.
Not exactly an ancient relic though.
No, but if you look at, I mean, look around as a tourist booth, right? If you look at the buildings, it's kind of ancient Egyptish.
You could just say brick wall, James. Could just be a brick wall.
Perhaps it's a brick wall, Dan. Well, I mean, it's definitely a brick wall, but Okay, let's move on from walls, shall we? Right, so it is game point for the SK team. We've got Gambit going for the force, obviously. They have a scout on to hooch. Other than that, there's not much going on. wayLander's got a few nades, no diffuse kit. There's not much else going on. Fri's going to get tagged through the smoke into top mid. And other than that, perhaps things will slow down a bit. It seems that SK could go for a fast B split or just enjoy the map control in the respective area. I think there is a player in the ladder room to be caught. Ooh, a Molotov that.
It's done nothing. Oh no, he's
no,
dead. He died.
Yeah,
He died.
there's some weird things going on perhaps with Gambit's routing, I don't know. Because he was just
He's just
standing there and dying, Dan. As one does.
Enjoying the flames.
Yeah, so bit difficult to commentate this this round, but there we go. 3 versus 3 now, and I think this is game time. Although AcilioN is pretty tagged, so there's still chance because the CTs actually have picked up the bomb here, as you can see.
Anyway, wayLander sneaky frag there by T-Spawn. Bomb is under CT control, so CT restriction.
hooch is the most apologetic Counter-Strike player I've ever seen on the server. I am truly sorry. So it seems that we may have another round yet, because the bomb is in control of the CTs, and Pimp is running away. So it continues then.
Onwards and downwards. I wouldn't say upwards.
Sideways by the looks of things.
Sideways. Okay. Well, got the all-point cadiaN. Bit of a jumble sail by from SK. And here is the jump and the peak, and there's nothing going on. Ooh, he spotted a leg. Oh, what's going on? Bit of a leg, bit of a dive
Showing
there.
a bit of leg, Dan. Can get one into trouble sometimes.
No, is indeed in a lot of trouble. That was nice. I like that.
Spray was... It didn't work out for him, Dan. We're down to a 3 versus 3 now. The bomb is rotating away from mid, top mid. Still 2 CTs over towards the B bomb site around a short area. And the bomb is headed towards A, but look at the aggressive position here.
No.
From...
What?
I don't know. I don't know what he was doing. He started walking forwards in 180, then got AWP'd, no scoped. So yeah, this is a rather unusual game, if you will. I don't know how much analysis there is to do because there are weird things going on. So I don't know where Gambit are. I don't know if they're in Kazakhstan or where they're playing from. But there we go. 16-5. Gambit are going to lose the second game, and I really don't know what there is to say about that because obviously something weird was going on. So what do we say, Dan? I mean, what much? There isn't really much to say, is there?
I like the line showing a bit of leg can get you in trouble sometimes.
Yeah.
So we can go with that.
All right. So yeah, apparently we're going to see some highlights from that match. So Red Eye, you're back. Hello.
I am back, yes, and mightily confused, I have to say. I've not seen a game like that stump 2 seasoned commentators for a long time. You just seem, you know, what is going on in this game?
No.
Well, there's I mean, there's something weird happening there.
Yeah.
It seems, which I don't know what it is. So I don't know what we can really do in this situation.
Indeed.
But it seems Gambit weren't able to play as much, you know, optimally. Obviously, we saw AdreN was unable to move for some reason in ladder. So
Yeah.
I mean, the first half was a bit more normal, but then things towards the second half things got a bit out of control. I mean, Gambit did have a lot of problems getting stuff done on their T sides, to be honest, when it came to pick battles and so on. And then when they were getting in bomb sites, you know, there was that one round where we had them just rotate 2 people into middle where there wasn't a plant for middle and all this kind of stuff. It just seemed a little bit disjointed there So, yeah, SK.
It's a good word, disjointed. I think that sums it up perfectly, really, doesn't it? Because it was very disjointed. Are you surprised by the level of play from SK in that first half, particularly?
I'm not particularly surprised due to the fact that we know they have very skilled players. I did mention previously that for me, I'm waiting for Friis to have that to be the 1.6 Friis. But generally speaking, you know, MODDII is typically, you know, especially 1.6 as well. Ali does the CS Go. You know, he's a very highly skilled player, one of the highest skilled players in Sweden for a while. So we know that he's really good. Asilian's up and down sometimes. Pimp's a very smart player, very good at a lot of stuff. Very smart player as well. So we know that there's a lot of potential for SK.
Definitely a lot of talent in the team.
Yeah.
When they were 6-0 down, I made a comment backstage, actually, if you were watching. AdreN had no kills at all, right? And then comes up with a knife. I mean,
really?
Yeah, it's like, where did that come from? Just out of the blue? Do you know what? I haven't got a kill yet, so it's 6 rounds in, it's 7 rounds, I haven't got a kill. I know, I'll get a knife kill.
That was really odd, actually, because they were able. I remember in that same round, wayLander just walks into jungle and no one spots him, and AdreN somehow ends in shop. It's like, I'm just gonna knife this guy and then off a guy with the off that dropped.
Yeah, it's bonkers, completely bonkers. I think the entire game was bonkers. So in the end, what it also means, of course, as we watch our final highlights, is that it's 1-1, which is the first one we've had. But so actually, both teams get a point now. How does that affect the rest of the group, do you think?
I have no idea.
I mean, it could throw the group into disarray, but on the other hand, I think maybe these two are the favourites to go through the group anyway, so we'll have to see how their other results pan out, I guess.
Yeah, I think. I mean, I don't know points-wise what it will ultimately mean by the end of tomorrow, but you know, one would expect Gambit to do well should they be given the chance. How much this impacts their chance, we'll have to find out as the qualifier continues.
Indeed. We are going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we'll have our third and final game of the European group. But that's not all from this evening, because we've got the Americas groups coming up as well. 3 more matches from them. That's to follow. We'll see you in a bit.